So I've been working on the cutscenes. That's how this week started. And this is one of the scenes that I started working on. So if anybody has any specific scenes that they want worked on.
My Wunderkind returns. In my entire court, I knew there was only one.
And while I was working on the cutscene, I fixed the player staring at the ceiling at some crazy angle when he comes back from the Giovanni's. So you can skip this at any point. I'll wait for LaCroix to start his speech, because that's kind of an interesting place to break.
An extraordinary piece, but nothing earth-shattering.
I see. Then there is no good reason why we shouldn't.
The depths to which I'll sink to prove others wrong. The young ones get
I like to do that because Sebastian keeps doing his thing,
I'd already made up my mind to open the sarcophagus,
which
if only to show the city that
is an important point for some of these cutscenes are a mixture of dialogue and not just pure cutscenes, so some of them aren't really skippable as cutscenes, so don't be disappointed if some of them aren't skippable, because they're not really cutscenes, they're more dialogue.
in the last Dr. Johansson isn't it?
Okay. And then I just wanted to show that LaCroix makes it back to his desk, and
Did you find a way to open the
he's happy to see us. No, not yet. Sure.
Come back when you have.
Okay. And so that leads us into our next topic of where I run into a snag. So we'll transition into that. And so this was a big snag. I came here to work on skipping this cutscene, and it turned into a giant mountain of a problem. But which is, I hope this is getting ready to be released, because I'm kind of ready for that to happen. So anyway, what happens is I started working on just skipping the cutscenes, and then I worked on cleaning up all of these things.
See you again, kid.
If you don't skip the cutscene.
No small feat in this city. Does he now? I still don't. Have you ever fought? Something's not what I mean. We gotta get out. Kid, we've been No, kid, you. I didn't hide it. Werewolves. No. Shit! It's leaving. Come on, kid, we gotta get inside that
But
building.
you still can skip the cutscene. I'll show that next. But it is a little more variables involved of whether you get a good result or not. So the initial reason I came to work here was just to get this cutscene skipping working, where you just hit this button and then you just manually run over here. And that got rid of all that crazy scissor running. But then I got rid of all the crazy scissor running anyway. But the big hurdle to being able to do this, skip this, is to be able to walk on this terrain. But you can still
Good to see you again, kid.
skip it
Heard you made quite
if
a
you
name
want
for yourself.
to as well
Small
anyway.
feat in this city. I hear LaCroix needs us all of a sudden.
But
We gotta get. Kid, we've been
if you like do something crazy like talk to Nine from some weird place, or back into the door instead of walking into it, or you can still get the scissor walking if you try really hard. But as long as you do something pretty normal, you'll get a good result, or I do. I think I'll go look at some of those stuck areas now. So this is in the original, the version 1.2 patch. And I just wanted to show, like, this is one of the really bad areas here. Normally, if you get stuck here, you can't get off of this without no clipping. But there's yeah, here's another bad area. So these are all directly in the way of walking here too. So that might be why they did that crazy cutscene, was just to get you over this buggy terrain. But even if I wasn't working on skipping the cutscene or working on fixing those sequences, this needs to be fixed because I don't think I can get off of this either. And I put our friend to sleep over there so he won't be bothering me. And if going in under these trees is usually another place where you can get stuck. There's just a ton of places where you can get stuck. So even if I wasn't working on the cutscenes or fixing up the sequences, this still needed to be fixed. It's just kind of unfortunate that it's an ugly fix, but it's better than not being fixed. I think so. The next thing I want to talk about, accidental stuck. The next thing I'd like to talk about is some water. So I'll do that next. And then this is the last thing I'd like to show for the week that I've been working on. So I've been working on the reflections for some of this water in the sewer areas and in the pools, like at the Giovanni Mansion and here. And this person is supposed to jump up and run away when he hears combat starting, or he detects combat starting. And that wasn't working when I got here either. But that was just a fallout of working on the water here. And there's also something interesting upstairs, but that would be covered when I talk about the Empire Arms. Hopefully when I get this released, hopefully soon, I'll probably start a playthrough because there's just a ton of things to talk about. But what I thought was interesting about this area was I never knew that this pool had these teak benches for people to sit on until I started fixing the reflections. And then I went into the editor and I found these benches are supposed to be there. So now they are. Anyway, I believe that's it for this video. If you have any questions or anything, just leave them in the comments. Or, like I said, requests for skipping cutscenes. Leave those as well. And other than that, thank you for watching.